Cool. So I've started 15 minutes early just to prep because I couldn't prep whilst I was setting this thing up. Anyway, so I do apologize if the sound's going to be out and stuff. I'm just trying to get everything kind of ready and give myself a nice shiny head. Yeah. Cool. It's that one that's doing. Oh well, shiny head's not so bad. Yeah, it's the annoying thing about YouTube. It's the first time I've used YouTube Live, and it doesn't let you preview your camera before you go live. So I don't even know if you guys can hear me on this at the moment. I really hope you can. So hopefully someone can let me know at some point if there's actually sound. What can I do then? I can create polls. I can add reactions. So there you go. I can make a poll. So, off. I really hope this is just for this video. Let's see what happens. Yes. Okay, so it's appeared in the chat. Okay, and there's that. And now that's okay, so I can click on it too. Cool, okay. Now that's muting it. I take it. I really hope the volume's working on this. Edit, let's have a look. Audience. Right. Well, wait and see. I'll have to edit this after the fact because this beginning bit would be a little bit on the dull side. Ooh. Yeah, you can hear me. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the response. Cool. Okay. That's you don't know how much of a weight that is off my shoulders because I paranoid when like I use Zoom for the first time or Facebook Live, all that kind of stuff. If you can't hear what the person's there saying and nobody tells you, you can look pretty bad for quite some time. Yeah, so that may or may not have happened to me. Yeah, but nah, cool beans, cool. And cool. Are you able, whoever put that vote in, are you able to comment? So have I made it so it's not just subscribers, anybody can comment, got no restriction? Ah, nice one. Cheers, Stu. Cool. I was going on a live thing the other day, and it said basically you could only comment if you were subscribed and had been watching for 10 minutes, which I thought was quite clever, because that would then mean that if you said something on the live thing that someone really wanted to, say something about or ask a question, they would then have to subscribe to you, and then they would have to watch at least 10 minutes of your video or your live session before they could ask that question. So I hopefully I've removed that from my one, because as cheeky as it would be, I did think it was a bit restrictive, because by the time I would have been able to ask my question, it was 10 minutes later, and that thing that they were talking about was been and gone. So, yeah. Thank you for popping in, though, Stu. Means a lot, mate. Yeah, sorry I didn't come or didn't get message you back about Sunday with the wrestling. In a nutshell, I took some time off work because I got like some I got hit with some like depression shit. So I took some time off work for that. Then I got ill because Ben had either hand, foot, and mouth again or something else. Katie got it at the start of the week, and then I got it towards the end of the week, and it hit me quite bad. So I was actually pretty ill over the weekend, and then I took this Monday and Tuesday as well, and it wasn't until Tuesday that really I got out of bed and was feeling a bit better. So yeah, uh, so yeah, it was a bit of a bad, because I even took that time, so I need to reset. So we're doing it now. Now is my reset time. Now I'm going to get my head in the game. Katie's good. Just a bit stressed out as well. Yeah, cheers, dude. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better now. It was one of those kind of things. Things just started to get on top of me again. I didn't know how to kind of deal with it. But we're kind of good now. It's just, you know what I mean? I'm a bit lost at the moment in how I feel about stuff, like just generally like work and stuff like that. I definitely want to try a different career path, but I can't. I'm too nervous to do it. So because of commitments and stuff like that, we're still selling the house, and that's all going through. We've got some issues with that recently, which kind of were annoying. Then my dad's cancer treatment started Tuesday, I think it was. He's now got actually at the stage now where he's actually having the laser stuff going on. So that's been playing on my mind for a while now. Because you know what I mean, it's your dad. You don't want yeah. So yeah, it's been a lot of bits and bobs. Plus work's work. I don't want to go too much into it on live stream because it's work and I don't want to jeopardize that. But I'm not happy. And that's why I'm doing the NEBOSH stuff and trying to push towards that safety career path. But we'll see what comes of it. Hopefully something. It's just difficult because I try to get my head into it and I enjoy it. But when I do, I find that I've got so many things that I need to focus on that it's very difficult. Because it's like if I do the NEBOSH, then I don't have time to write scripts for the channel. And if I don't do the channel, then I feel like I'm losing my outlet of something that's kind of fun and productive for me and keeps my head a bit out of the weeds. But that means I'm not doing my NEBOSH. And if I do my NEBOSH and I'm not doing the channel stuff, I'm still, once again, it takes away from kind of like free time. So I'm not sitting down and playing a computer game in like when I can spare a half hour, an hour or something. Or I'm taken away from time with Ben, and it's just I'm being pulled in all directions, and I just But should be good. Should be good. I'll get it sorted. We'll get it all. It'll be all fine. But yeah, so there you go. But yeah, other than that, yeah, everything's good though. We got, as I say, we got some positive stuff on the horizon, which is nice, which is good. How's you and Tree? You guys all good? Okay, ish. Oh. I'll tell you what, mate. After the live, if you want, I'll give you a shout. Maybe we can have a chat or something. I don't know what we're. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing tomorrow or the weekend, but as I say, when this is over, I can give you guys a buzz. Chat through some stuff. Yeah. Somebody else join. Hello, mystery stranger. Chinchilla Central. Hello, Fan YT. Yeah, cheers, dude. Yeah. Yeah, sure, mate. I'll give you a buzz after. Cool. Well, 3 minutes for the official start. We've had somebody else join as well. Hello. Do do do. Hello, welcome. Cool. 2 minutes and I'll kick things off officially because I said it was a 7 o'clock start. I just started early to kind of make sure that my audio was working and the cameras and all of that jazz was looking all right. Hi, exactly. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. How did you stumble across the channel? Was it on a Reddit post, Facebook, YouTube recommendation? Nice to know this kind of stuff because it's sometimes I feel like I spam a bit too much. Oh yeah, Apollo builds. Welcome. Oh, spot on. That's good. Thank you, Zach. That's actually really a good thing for me to know because I don't know if my videos will come off the back end of those or not. Where my channel kind of went from one niche to a larger niche, I didn't know how the algorithm was going to work out. So yeah, that's really good. Cool. And it's 7 o'clock. So thank you everybody for coming along to this. The whole purpose of this was, first of all, for me to say a thank you to all the subscribers and future subscribers to the channel. It means so much. You guys, you know, the comments you make, the fact that you've invested, that you subscribed. I know it sounds stupid, but the fact that you're subscribing means that you like something that I'm doing. May not be all of it, but you like a little bit or something about it. So it's a motivational thing. It's a positive thing. So yeah, hopefully, you know what I mean? When it comes to the channel and stuff like that, please feel free to make comments, even if they're contradictory to what I've said in a video. If you've got an opinion that doesn't mesh with what I've said in the video, that's perfectly fine. And I'm more than happy for you to comment on the video and say what you think. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the whole point of the channel was that it's here to kind of be a one-stop place for LARPers to come to, new and old. So I don't want to be in any way a kind of a gatekeeper to turn around and say my opinion is what matters and nobody else does. That's why I make the videos, and then you guys comment and say whatever you want on them in retrospect of what the video was about. But yeah, so I'm just going to catch up on some comments. Nice one. Thank you, Apollo, and thank you, Zach. Oh, nice one. Thank you, Zach, sorry, for sharing that. What did you think about the costume on the cheap? I did get some feedback on that one in regards to someone believed that the advice that I gave wasn't appropriate. Basically saying that if you wear a LARP shirt and trousers, you're good to go to a LARP and that's all you need. I should have stipulated in the video that you can't just turn up on a field just in that in the middle of the winter kind of thing. It was just what I wore to my first LARP was that I bodged together some trousers. I made it was kind of like a cord vest top thing that my missus had some fur around the sides of it. I can dig the picture up. It's on my Facebook thing, but it was basically I went to Curious Pastimes, was like my first LARP. And so for me, it was that kind of, well, I just had a shirt and trousers, and then I had some weapons and I had a belt and other kind of stuff. So I just thought that's the kind of the bare minimum that you can, well, I say bare minimum, you can turn up on what you want as long as you hit the brief. But yeah, spot on. Thank you for sharing that one. So I have to keep on stopping to look down at the comments because they're tiny. So what is Chinchilla Central? New event in Exeter opening in July. Okay. You showed up in a t-shirt, boots, and a sweatpants. Yeah, yeah. I think it is. I think definitely. I think when it comes to that kind of costume stuff, I mean, at the end of the day, we've all got to start somewhere, and it's that kind of, as long as you hit the brief. If the brief says like no trainers or no modern looking jeans or something, and you turn up in that's not appropriate. But if, as long as you hit that brief, yeah, it doesn't matter how much you spent on your costume and stuff like that. You look amazing. So yeah, that's what that kind of video was about. But that's cool. Chinchilla Central. I'm going to look that one up then. Is that a lot? Is that a lot that's coming up then? I would if I had a pen. I could just look at the video afterwards. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking to see if Chinchilla Central LARP. Let's have a look. No. Yeah. I think a lot of people, their first LARPs were quite like costume wise. I think you kind of bodge stuff together. Yeah, fan YT, mate. If it's a Larp, mate, that you want to advertise, please do. You know what I mean? Yeah, pop it on here, mate. Or if it's anything related to Larp. So if you are a costume designer, or you make props or something like that, or whatever it is, mate. If it's Larp related, please feel free to link that in the comments. You know what I mean? And if you come across one of my videos that you think it's appropriate for, I, you know what I mean? I won't delete comments if they're, you know, say Larp related. Cool. So what I was saying at the start, this is, as I say, I've hit 500. To me, that's a massive milestone for the channel. Believe it or not, it's taken me an excessive amount of time, I would say, to get to this point. It's taken just over 3 years for the channel to hit this kind of part in the road. And I think a lot of that came down as originally when the channel was created, it was created to assist in teaching the rules to a particular rule set for Vampire. And that's what the channel was focused about. It's all focused about Vampire LARP and those rules. But that was really, really, really niche, like incredibly niche. So the channel was never going to gain traction through doing that. And then when I came away from that vampire side of stuff and wanted to actually kind of restart the channel and be LARP as a general kind of focus, the channel growth has been very good. I think I've been doing this now for about, it's coming up to 4 months, focusing on LARP, and it went from 320 subscribers to 511 in that period of time. And I think I've produced maybe 15 videos, I think, around LARP as a general thing. So the growth has been astronomical, in my opinion, anyway, because YouTube in itself is a whole world of stuff you need to focus on. It's difficult. And the first, getting to that first kind of 1,000 subscribers is the hardest part of YouTube. It's where everybody quits. I've come close so many times. But then all it is, it's just, you know, you get a comment on one of your videos from someone, or you get a couple of subscribers come in, or a load of likes, or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you get motivated and you make another video, and that's what it's been like. So yeah, but if you guys have got any questions at all, please pop them in the comments. I'll try and answer as many of the questions as I possibly can. So yeah, have free reign. And I'm just going to see what everybody's asking. Hello, Comboris 13. Welcome, mate. Okay. Welcome, Ultimate Mr. T fan. You've asked a question of what do you think the biggest barrier to people giving LARP a try is? That's a difficult question to answer, because I can answer it from my perspective of what I think like my biggest barrier is. Because at the moment, for example, I mean, I'm a long in the tooth LARPer, but I don't have any LARPs coming up that I'm going to be attending, because my issue or barrier is I like to go to a LARP event with other people. And that used to be with my wife. So we could just pick LARPs and just go along. But unfortunately, when I say unfortunately, now we've had a son, it's very difficult for both of us to go to a LARP. We tried it recently with Blood and Fire, and it was emotionally difficult for us being away from our son for so long, both of us in that case. So for me, I think one of the barriers is if you know somebody who's going to it that you can kind of go along with, that's good. If you don't know anybody, so that's why I've been focusing a lot about saying things about solo LARPers. It is very different. So, but if I was looking at it from a general point of view outside of myself, I think one of the biggest barriers for anybody attending a LARP is it's very different than what other things would be. For example, if I was to go to, let's say, a festival or go to a secret cinema or go to a new pub that's opened or anything like that, those things are kind of very easy to find like-minded people to gain information from and stuff like that, and find out what you need and all that jazz. And I think with LARP, it's a little bit harder because it's a niche hobby, if you see what I mean. So, yeah, I've probably waffled off in a weird direction here, but I just think it's just that there's if it was more mainstream, if it was easy to get information about, if it was something you could just quickly do a look and you could see this LARP and know exactly what to expect and the rest of it, I think, but you can't. So that's the barrier that stops people, the unknown, that kind of what's going to happen when I get there. Do I have the right equipment? Am I going to embarrass myself? Do I need to learn all these rules? I haven't had an opportunity to sit down and speak to any of the ref team. What is there going to be accessibility issues? Is there going to be all these things just blah 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 blah, and then you go, oh god, I've got to get a costume up together. And where do I get a costume from? I can't afford a costume that costs 200 quid. Why would I pay 200 quid for something if I don't even know I'm going to like it? And you keep getting bombarded by all of these things, and then I think that's what turns people away. So yeah, trying to make those things easier, I think, would massively help the community. But anyway, so stigmas from the mundane is the hardest for me. Yeah, Zach. Yeah, I'm quite lucky. My social group has always been LARPers, give or take. So I got into it because I went down to Games Workshop when I was younger, and there was a guy there called Sam and another guy called Scott that worked there at the time, and they were LARPers, and they got me to come down to the Common for a weapon practice. And my first experience of LARP was basically hitting people, badly, and not knowing about pulling blows and stuff down at a park near me. But there was loads of people there. And that opened up a whole different social group. I mean, I played D&D before that. I used to play in like a weekly game down at a shop called Hidden Fortress in Southampton. And then, so I was kind of nerdy-ish to start off. I mean, I wasn't as a kid. I was definitely not a nerdy kid. But as I got older, I started to change my social group. And I think the D&D, and then over into that weapon practice down the Common. And then someone said, hey, look, we're going to go to this event. It's Curious Pastimes. You come along with a play of the Arcane Tempest, which the group will turn up and play mages. And I was like, I'm not really a fan of mages, so I turned up as an ogre. There you go. But yeah, after that, I was hooked. But I think it was easier because all of the people that I was kind of hanging around with at the time either were D&D or LARPers, or played, Games Workshop stuff. So very geeky, nerdy stuff going on. So for me, there was no social stigma. Yeah, I think I was lucky in that regard. But just read another one. Hi Omar. Yeah, no, I get that. I'm pretty much the same, I think, with that. So recently we went to, as I said, this Blood and Fire LARP, and I was there costumed up playing as Mr. Rat, like a Nosferatu kind of a character that I've played in other games. So I was comfortable in my skin as a character, but that saying those first couple of lines, just standing in front of someone you've never met before and saying something, is difficult. But when you've done it and you've got that dialogue and you're in the character, I think it gets a damn sight easier. Which is makes me wonder what it must be like if I was first time ever LARPing again. Yeah, kind of. Cool. Okay. Favorite moment in LARP? It's difficult. It's not because it's difficult because I've got like hundreds of these amazing moments. It's just because it's for me. There's been parts of my LARP experience that have literally changed me as a person. Have literally made me. I feel more open minded and accepting of others and less, you know, close minded about things. And I think that those moments have been scattered in amongst all of the other cool stuff that's been going on. But I think it's those little tiny moments. Um, it sounds silly, but like the first time I role played with a girl that was playing a guy, and that interaction felt, I don't know, it just felt right. It felt there was no. Uh, it's difficult to explain, but it's there's been moments like that that literally have had a massive impact on my life. So I think that those kind of moments are the stuff that I really love about LARP. Um, the kind of my I've got a couple of like stories of moments that I'm never going to forget, as in like experience at a LARP field where a friend of mine called Monkey, who is another YouTuber, does it's called Board Gamer. If you guys want to go look him up, he does Star Citizen. That's what his channel's kind of focused around. But we called him Monkey. His name's Richard. But when I went to Curious Pastimes, there was a call in the system where you could hit someone and call paralysis or paralyze, and you had to stay still for X amount of time. I can't. It's been a long time since I was there, but it felt like a long time. Now, basically, what happened was that my beer that I brought to the event went a bit weird because it got left in the sun and it wasn't particularly nice. So I was at another camp and they were, would you like a drink? And I was gasping for a beer, and Richard was aware of this. Others were aware of this because I was after a beer, and they came across, and it took a little while, but eventually they came out and go, "Oh, I've got this one," and it was a ice cold, and this is when I was younger, can of Foster's, and I was like, "Oh, you!" And I took the beer and I cracked it open, and the mist came up, and I was literally like zen at that point, about to take that swig, and all of a sudden I heard this giggle and then hit on the side, and paralysis was called. And I went, "Oh, what?" And I saw Richard come round from the darkness in front of me. He smiled at me and slapped the beer out of my hand, and I just had to stand there watching the beer just drain out onto the floor. So yeah, that was one of those moments that's kind of stuck with me. As at the time, it was like but it was an awesome moment because I don't know, it's just a memory that stuck. So that'd be kind of my little, I don't know, antidote of such. Um, let's have a look. So, Mr. T, do you think for most that the LARP is about escapism or for the opportunity experience things that we can't in everyday life? Wow. Okay. Yeah, it depends. I mean, yes and so there are certain aspects of LARP that, for example, I remember the first time I went into a mass battle. I was in a shield wall or doing the archery or any of that kind of stuff. You can't do that in real life, and that's awesome to get to have that experience and to be in that kind of. I now know what fog of war is, and why people say about you people feel like they're losing when actually they're not, because if you take a step back as like a captain or an archer or something, you can see more of the battlefield, and all of a sudden you go, oh yeah, they're losing the fight over on the left, but on the right and the center they're doing fine. They're going to roll them any second now, but those guys that were on the left are probably thinking they're lost and it's all over, and that's that fog of war thing. So yes, definitely that kind of experience you can't get in real life. You can definitely kind of experience those things at a LARP, and that can be a big draw. The escapism part, I also think, is a definite thing. I know that I've used LARP as an escape mechanism a couple of times, just because sometimes real life shit, and you can go on holiday, or you can take a break, or you can go to the pub with your mates, but it's still shit and it's still there, and you end up talking about it, and or you're reminded of it. But at LARP, you're someone else. For that weekend, you're a completely different person in a completely different world with completely different other issues and stuff that you need to focus on, and it can definitely take you away from the real world shit that's going on around you. And I think that escapism can be really positive, because when you come out of it, you've had that brief moment to reset, that brief moment to think, actually, that was really good fun. I'm still the same person. My issues were still there, but I was able to have fun and do something else. And then because you've had fun doing that, it means that actually the issues that you were dealing with before, you can maybe look at in a different light, that kind of silver lining. So yeah, I know. Yeah, I would definitely say both points, 100%. Escapism, yes, and to experience something that you can't do in real life. Both major draws for me. I mean, it is a double-edged sword, though. I mean, unfortunately, people can go to LARP to escape and then get drawn into the LARP because they don't want to come back. That makes sense. So they get so invested in that world, in what's happening there, because it's better and nicer than what they're having to deal with back at home or something. So it can be a double-edged sword. I've definitely seen some people that come back and they get really bad LARP blues, mainly because it's like when you come back from a holiday. I think it's the same thing. You come back from a holiday, you've had an amazing holiday, you come back home and it's all there waiting for you. So yeah, so it can be positive and negative. Cool. And then we got Comboris. You said, for me, it was meeting yourself and your good lady, and how you both helped me more into LARP and prop creativity. And I've got more into the system. Okay. So Comboris, I take it then you're referring to Wasteland. That was a lot of fun. That was an example of both me and the missus that just went, we're going to go try LARP. And I'd never done Wasteland. She'd never done Wasteland LARP before. So unfortunately, the first place I looked was Atomic Snail for inspiration for costume. If any of you guys want to see some incredible Wasteland apocalyptic LARP style costume designing, go watch Atomic Snail on YouTube. Really good videos, but the level of detail and it's a different. So I'd watched that and I thought that was what was expected. And then I also watched this kind of videos that were like about, in America, you've got a whole event, not a LARP, but like a wastelandy kind of style event that takes place. And I kind of was getting inspiration from there. So, but yeah, mate, we put a lot of work into the costumes, but we loved the event itself. Was that we had it. Hopefully, Bugs and that can take this comment with a pinch of salt, but we really enjoyed probably about 80% of the LARPs, but I felt that like the last couple, we didn't have that same level of enjoyment. So yeah, I don't know what was going on. Maybe we were in a different headspace at the time or something, but it just didn't feel the same. I mean, the event we had in the caves and the event that we had where me and Katie spent most of our time hidden in the bush sounds stupid, but we really enjoyed hiding in a bush because we had so much shit going on at home. It was just nice to be kids and hide in the bush and then just watch the world go by. It was, you wouldn't believe how relaxing it was. So yeah. But cool. So put a question out there, everybody. Have you guys got any ideas of what you would want to see on the channel going forwards? So is there anything that you would like me to do, like me to cover, anything like that. You know what I mean? It'd be really nice for me to kind of know from you guys that have turned up today what you kind of want, and then see if I can do it. And I should really get better at doing this as well. Because what I should have done is asked that question and then answered another question. And then by the time that I finished answering that one, there'd have been more questions in the comments for me to then answer. See? Rookie mistake. Sorry, that was me just closing the poll. When I first started the video, I didn't know if anybody could hear me. I made a quick poll. Stu was kind enough to answer. Let me know he could. Any tips for creating throwable props? See, a non-savvy person would go, yeah, and then give you a load of advice of how I would do it. But I don't make Larp weapons. So my advice would be to ask that question on give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to have to quickly look up the name of the channel because I can never pronounce it. Right, Mandala Studios. Give me a second. Let's see if I can. I wonder if I can comment on my own. Can I comment on my own thing? Let's have a look. Boff. There we go. Right. So that's a YouTuber that does loads of videos on how to make shows how to make like foam masks, claws, all kinds of stuff. So if you want to know how to make a throwable weapon, they're the people to ask because they make Larp stuff. If you want some bad advice, my advice would be, get a lump of foam, and you can get different thicknesses of foam. And I believe that the higher the thickness, the heavier it will become. If it was me, I would probably put like a core of a heavier thickness and then some softer foam around the outside of it as a projectile to throw. But once again, that's bad advice because I don't know how to make this stuff. So that's off the top of my head what I would do. But definitely look at those guys. And if you don't get a reply from them on one of their videos, if you ask it, just check out any kind of Larp trader and ask them for sure. Hopefully that answers it. Sorry if I feel like I'm copping out. I just don't want to give you shitty advice, especially when it comes to something you're going to throw in someone's face. We've got Ultima Mr. T fan says, I'm kind of curious about the Larp adjacent spaces. For example, there's a growing market of immersive experience in the US. Oh, mate, we're going to, hopefully this is what you're on about, but we went to a secret cinema called, oh my God, Stranger Things. So it was in London. They've done loads of other ones here in the UK, like, but they've done other movies like Star Wars, stuff like that. We've also just booked ourselves in for the Guardians of the Galaxy. And all I can say is Secret Cinema, wow. For a LARPer, it blew my mind because it was like, you've got a load of mundane. Mundane is a horrible thing to say about non-LARPers, but you've got a load of people that haven't really been LARPing before, yet they were able to experience a kind of LARP experience. in a way. They were invested and brought into this world by the characters and the costuming and the stuff they were told, you know, the things they were trying to do. It's like a murder mystery kind of, you know, style-esque. But oh yeah, Secret Cinema. Bam. Yeah, good. Yeah, hopefully, if there's more of that, that's where me and the missus are kind of, that's our mindset at the moment. We're looking for LARPs that are like that in regards to. So I've spent ages doing things like, when is that ages, but words bad. I spent years attending LARPs that are like large fests. You know, we did Odyssey, we did Empire, we did Maelstrom, we did Curious Pastimes, and I mean, I listed off all the PD ones and the Curious Pastime at the end there, but we've done a load of large LARP fests, and then we started to look at smaller LARP events like, you know, we went to Wasteland UK and Blood and Fire, and we found that we were really enjoying those kind of smaller LARPs because we found like we were getting more immersed in what was going on. So, but then Secret Cinema has hands down been, it's not a LARP, but for a non-LARP, it's been my best experience. Incredible. Hopefully, yeah, there's more of that stuff and more people do it. I mean, I was really tempted. We are really tempted to going along to this Harry Potter one. And there was another one ages ago for the, what was it called? Treaty of Thorns, but I don't think it was called. I don't know if it was called the Treaty of Thorns. The problem is though, they're like over $1,000 for a LARP. I just can't. Well, we can't afford it. We get that's $2,000. You know, for the me and the missus to go, plus costume, plus everything else. You're looking at a large investment for that kind of Secret Cinema level experience. But Secret Cinema, it's just the cost of the ticket and then some costume we threw together for like £100. An amazing mind blown kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully more stuff like that will come out. And I forgot to do it again, didn't I? I've answered questions and I haven't. So is there? So Ascent, is there anything you guys want to see on the channel? You got any other questions for me? Anything you can think of, really. But yeah, but from my point of view, as far as the channel, I'm going to keep on doing some stuff. I'm going to keep on making videos. I've kind of got a list of ones that I'm looking to do. I would love to do some kind of interviews. I want to, basically what I want to try to do eventually when the channel is big enough, is to kind of speak to the LARP organizers, to advertise individual LARPs. So, and then maybe even attend those LARPs and do a kind of, look, this is what I got. This is how I got my kit up together for it. This is how, you know, this is all this. So that way, if somebody was to then look at that LARP, they could go, well, I could watch a series of videos and I could see somebody actually, you know, getting ready for it, getting their character up together, go in there, what to expect when you first walk through the door, how the event went, stuff like that. We tried to do it for Blood and Fire, but it got a little bit, the timings of thing went terribly wrong. There was a lot of things that happened just before the event, which caused it to kind of not work out. But what we would love to do is, or I would love to do, is more stuff like that. And then I get to go and experience some LARPs. So that'd be cool. But that's the kind of thing I like to do with the channel. I understand that interviews are difficult to kind of make interesting. So I would look to try to make those interviews as a series of questions being asked and then response, if you see what I mean. I'll try not to do a sit down and kind of back and forth experience chats and stuff, because I think with those, well, from what I've seen, when we've done it as a team before, when we were doing Savannah Vampire by Night, we tried doing those kind of behind the door interviews between members of the team, members of the crew, and they just weren't well received. So I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, that's one of the kind of things I was looking at doing. The video quality. Are you happy with the quality of the videos? I've had comments of add music. I find if I add music, it just kind of makes it very hard to hear what's being said. If you see what I mean, detracts a bit. So I try to add music a bit more at the in certain places or in certain videos. I mean, did you guys like the what is a post-apocalyptic and what is vampire larp kind of stuff? Those I invested a little bit more into. In regards to, especially the vampire one, that was a heavy investment to get that video looking like it did. But yeah, just be nice to know that side of stuff as well, if you see what I mean. Not just the content, but what you guys think of the sound and visuals and all of that. If that stroby thing behind my head normally is annoying, uh, you know. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have got any questions you want to fire off? Thank you, Ultimate. Yeah, I always put a little bit. So for me, the video quality, it has to be to a level that I would watch and be interested in. So I've always tried to put. I mean, it's like when I did originally when I did like the let's plays of Bloodlines. I don't think anybody ever noticed, but I'd added like in the haunted house thing. I added a load of extra effects into that video. I think it was episode 7 or 8, I think it was, or something like that. And throughout all of the videos, I changed the lighting effects on there. I added in noises and certain effects. I tried to make it from a kind of a storyteller point of view of going like, this is footage that another Nosferatu has got of another Nosferatu and is commenting on what they think they're up to and stuff like that. So even something like that, I wanted to try and. So yeah, I mean, quality for me is a big thing. It's why I'm asking, because if the sound's rubbish, the video quality is not very good. All it means is that potentially someone who may be interested in LARP will just bounce off of it and go, nah, not my cup of tea. And I would hate that. But yeah. I'm also suspecting there's a bit of delay on this. I'm pretty sure I didn't get my settings right. I think when I stop talking, there's like a 15-second delay before you guys hear me. Oh, well, I do apologise for that if there is. But yeah, honestly, guys, if you've got any more questions at all, feedback, anything, feel free to put it into those comments, and I try to engage as best I can with it. Cool. Well, I don't know if I'm getting any more questions coming through. So I'll give it a little bit longer just in case. But I'd like to kind of say massive thank you for everybody that has attended. For anybody that's watching this after the live event, thank you for watching. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it's nice to see some people turned up as well. I mean, it's very nerve-wracking as a content creator, especially when you're first starting out and stuff like that, when you do things like this, because you don't think anybody's going to attend. And I think that over the course of this video, we've had, I think it came up to 15 people, which sounds to me that's really, really good. That's amazing. I was expecting maybe a couple of people to turn up tops. So I really, really appreciate everybody that has come along. Everybody that watches my videos, I massively appreciate everybody who does. Every time you share a video with in your communities, I see a spike on my views and subscribers from you doing so. Yeah, I once again I massively appreciate everybody that's part of this community. So thank you so much. And I don't think we're getting any more questions now. So I think we're going to end it. So thank you, everybody. And once again, really appreciate it. I love you all, and goodbye.